Hello, 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 everyone. Come on in to the webinar. I am so glad you decided to show up because we're going to talk about something very important today, the foundation meeting. So come on in. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'm in Ohio. So let me know where you are coming in today from. Let me know. Look at Carla Metris coming in from Georgia. Well, hello, Manietta is with us from South Carolina. And ooh, I'm gonna butcher some names. Is it Sokta? Ooh, is it Sokta? Aloha from Maui. I was just in Maui a few months ago. So is it Sokta? Put your pronunciation into the webinar chat because I want to get it right. But yes, I was in Maui. I was in Maui not too long ago. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Visha, Grand Rising, Texas. Hello, Cheryl from New York is in the house, Rochester, and Deshaun from Indiana, and Corikia. Look at Texas showing up from Fort Worth, Texas. Jocelyn from Virginia. Oh, Virginia's coming in strong. Look at Connie coming in from, is it Newport News, Virginia? I've been to Newport News. And Tanisha from Bama. Bama is up in the house. And Wayne is representing the land. I am from the land, Cleveland, Ohio. That's what I'm talking about. And Danielle from St. Louis. Tasha was like, wait a minute, Missouri is up in the house. Danielle is coming in from Missouri. And Tasha, Sakta from Maui. Aloha. Hello, Portia, coming in from Texas, and Shonda. Look at Texas showing up. And Shonda from Dallas, Marita from Minneapolis. I don't know, Minneapolis and Minnesota and Texas is coming in strong. Hello, Sharon from Louisiana. And look at Wilhelmina coming in from the motherland from Nambia, Africa. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Dawn from New Jersey. And Janika, hello, Janieka from Cincinnati, our friend. Yes, I know who you are. And Emma from Texas. And is it Suhiel? Suhiel from North Carolina. Welcome, everyone. This is a very, very, very important session that I'm having today. And I'm going to get started because I have a lot of information to share with you. Kamira is coming in from Bama. Oh, I know Bama. My parents are from Bama. I know Alabama. The red clay of Alabama. I know about the red clay in Alabama. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and start the presentation because I have a lot of information to share with you. And this is really important information. So I am so glad that you decided to show up. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. So let me get started. I'm going to share my screen and everyone should be able to see me. I'm going to minimize a couple of things so that they're out of the way. We're going to bring this section here down so it's not covering the screen at all. All right, all right, all right. We're going to just stick it over there. This is grant meeting secrets. This is how to walk into the foundation meetings and walk out funded. And this is literally like the number one thing you can do to increase your chances of getting grants. And so we're going to talk about how this meeting, coupled with strategy, you always hear me talk about strategy, is going to help you win grant funding. All right. So I know this is like trepidation for a lot of you. Like, oh my gosh, do I have to meet with these foundations? I just need some money, right? Yes, you do. Yes, you do need to meet with these foundations. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to walk you through this. All right. So get ready, get ready. Now, but the first thing I need for you all to understand very clearly is that grants are here. Grants are here. Grants are available right now. But a lot of you are missing out on this number one way to increase your chances of securing them. And that's the foundation meeting, the grant meeting. So today I'm going to show you how to win the meeting and then what happens next after the meeting to put you in a much better position to actually win grants. All right. All right. Now, this is a no fluff zone. People who know me know I don't do fluff. We don't have time for fluff. All right. There's no gatekeeping here. I'm going to share information with you that's going to help you win grants, period. All right. So if you know anyone, it could be a nonprofit, it could be another small business, share the link so that they can get into this session. Melissa is with me also from the Motherland. She is in tell everybody where you are, where you're coming in from, Melissa. Drop it in the chat and let everybody know where you are coming in from. She's in Zimbabwe, people. So let's give Melissa some love. She's going to be helping us out today. But Melissa, if you could share the link, people, give this link to anybody who you know need free grant money, period. Give this link to anybody that you know who needs free grant money. If they have a nonprofit or a small business, share it. I'm not about gatekeeping. I want you to share this information. This is very important. All right. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. Wasn't that the name of a song? Like, let me introduce myself. I am dating myself really, really badly. All right. Yes, a lot of people know me as the Grants Queen because I have secured over $18 million now in grants, not just written one over $18 million in grants for clients. And I've been in this industry for a long time. For, oh my gosh, this year will be 18 years. Jay-Z, Manetta was like, Jay-Z. I knew it was somebody, Manetta. I knew it was somebody. Was it Jay-Z that made that song? Let me introduce myself. All right. Over 18 years I've been in this industry. You know, these days you have to show your receipts, right? You have to show people that you literally know what you're talking about. So it's been 18 years for me being in the grants industry. I also help people to write contracts, right? And to help with securing RFPs. But it's about writing, it's about telling your story. And so about 4 years ago now, I started my LaPav Writing School, and I now have over 3,000 students that include nonprofits and small businesses. And I have trained, yes, that's not a mistake. I've trained over 30,000 organizations in specifically grant writing. And now I teach grant writing for Goldman Sachs for their 10,000 Small Businesses program, where I am a proud alumnus, for the Urban League, for the National Association of Women Business Owners, and a lot of other groups. And my undergrad and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips. Go Zips. And yes, it is absolutely, absolutely my mission and passion to help you secure funding, right? Because you want to be able to impact the people that you love to serve, whether you are a nonprofit or a small business. Now, people, I wasn't always called the Grant Queen. Grant writing is not where I started. I started where many of you started. Like I didn't know anything about grants. I had never seen a grant before. I was a professional publisher, right? I was in Pennsylvania. Some of you are from Pennsylvania. And I was traveling the world with a great publishing job. Literally, that's right, Danielle. You got to start somewhere, right? The link is in the chat. Melissa put the link in the chat for you to share. So just go to your webinar chat. That chat is going to be very important, people, because we're going to be dropping some really important information into the webinar chat. So make sure you find out where the chat is. But I wasn't always in grants. I was an executive. I was a publisher, and then I got hurt. You know, life happens, and I got hurt, and I got hurt bad. And literally, that was it. I went from traveling the world in Pennsylvania to putting everything I own in a storage unit in Cleveland, Ohio, moving in with my sister. Took me 2 years to recuperate I had to come home in a wheelchair. Never thought I would come back home to Cleveland in a wheelchair. It took me 2 years. After the 2 years, I was better. I was seen by the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. Then I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a job. So you know what? That's when I started Lepov Consulting, because sometimes you just have to do it yourself. And I started Lepov Consulting. One of my first clients wanted me to be the executive director of a nonprofit. I took the position. Within 2 weeks, I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant to pay for my salary. And you talk about what's called baptism by fire. I had never seen a grant before, and I'm being asked to write a grant to save my job. And I had to do it. But the director of the board president said, we need to meet. We found a grant that would pay for your salary, but you have to write it. But we really need to meet with them first. And that was where this notion of meeting with the funder came to light, because we met with the funder. She was thrilled with what we were doing. And I ended up writing the grant and winning the grant. People, I had never written a grant before. I had never seen a grant before. But that meeting with that funder, who was so impressed by the work we were doing, meant everything. So then I started winning more and more grants, meeting with more foundations. Excuse me, I went from winning $500 grants to $500,000 grants. And I decided that I needed to take what I was learning and sharing it with my clients and my students. So, people, that's why right now, as we speak, I have clients that win five-figure grants, six-figure grants, because I spent the last 18 years learning grants so that you don't have to. And so, if you look at this little picture, Nicola, Whitney, Kimberly, Keisha, they're winning five and six-figure grants right now, when some people are thinking there are no grants. There's a strategy. I want you to remember that word, a strategy that needs to be applied, right? So I learned all this so that you don't have to. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to talk about the fact that grants are here. And then we're going to talk about why meeting with the foundation literally increases your chance of getting the grant. And then what do you do? Like, how do you get the meeting? I'm asked that question probably more so than any other. Like, Linda, how do you meet with these foundations? I didn't know they could meet with people. But it's not only you getting the meeting, I want you to slay that meeting. I want you to win that meeting. I want you to literally lead in the meeting. And I'm going to teach you exactly how. And we're going to cover all these mistakes that organizations make in the foundation meeting. I don't want you to make those mistakes. And then what do you do after the meeting is most important, because you're going to take what you learn in that meeting, couple it with strategy, and it's going to create a much, much clearer path to you actually winning grant money. All right, because then we're going to get into the strategy that I want you to implement. And then we're going to talk about what your next step is going to be. But you got to get in this game, people. So I want you to tell me right now into the chat, how many of you applied for a grant, either got rejected or got ghosted? Didn't hear anything back. Applied for the grant, was all excited, then you got ghosted. I mean, ghosted. Or you just flat out got a rejection letter. Right? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of me's, right? Like you thought you did it right. You applied for the grant, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything. Or you get the rejection letter template. The template. Thank you for applying. Unfortunately, our funds, we have a limited amount of funds and we simply cannot fund your program. Amara says she's experienced that many times. I'm going to help you out today, Amara, because there's no reason. There's no reason. Yes, Tiffany, the dreaded template. We know what that template says, right? No, 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 no. I'm getting ready to show you what you need to do to put yourself in a position to try to avoid getting that rejection letter. Now, grants are not guaranteed, but I'm getting ready to show you how to place yourself in the best possible position. But I need for you to stay in this game because grants are available. Don't believe what you are hearing about all grants are gone, grants have disappeared, there's no more money available. There's over $200 billion in grant money that's being given out that's non-federal money. I'm not even talking about the federal money. I'm talking about the non-federal money. $200 billion is being given out every single year. So I don't want you sitting in a corner thinking, oh my gosh, the grant money is gone because you believe this hype here. You thought grants were fake or you thought grants were gone. You just drawn in a sea of misinformation. And I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you because the money is here. It just shifted. It just shifted. So we know the current administration was cutting grants and rescinding grants and taking grants back and slashing, but guess what happened? Your private foundations, your community foundations, your corporate foundations, your family foundations, they started stepping in and increasing the amount of funds that they were giving out because they were trying to fill in the gaps caused by these federal grant cuts. But guess what has happened in the last month? In the last month, I have seen so much federal grant money being re-released. So you are in the best possible position. Now is the time to make sure that you are in this grant game because the money is available. And people, please understand, grants come from thousands of resources. There's no such thing as one grant coming from one resource and that's where all the money comes from. No, thousands and thousands of resources. All right. But here's why a lot of you are not getting funded. This is why some of you are getting those rejection letters. Remember, I've been in this industry 18 years. I've seen just about everything. You are applying without your organization even being known. You saw the application, you saw dollar signs, whoo, $50,000, $100,000. I need this money. And you applied without the organization even knowing who you are. Or you're submitting without alignment, right? That grant wasn't even for you. Or you're just blending in with everybody else. Like you put in the application, this is what we do, this is what we've been doing. When 100 other people send in the same application, this is what we do, this is how we help. And that's why you're getting ignored. I'm going to show you how to stand out. But before you get to the meeting, you need to know how to find the grants, right? Before you even get to the foundation meeting. So you don't need 20 different places to look. All right. What you need to do is to find the right funders and the right fit for you. Now, this is just a list of some of the portals that you can go to. People, Google is fine. All right. But not for grants. That's not the best source for grants. I'm going to run through this list really quickly. If you are a nonprofit, and let me know right now, let me know who is here with me. Let me know right now in the chat, are you a nonprofit or are you a small business? Or maybe you are both. Maybe you have a nonprofit and a small business, which is great because it really puts you in like the best possible position to get grants. Let me know. Let me know. But oh, a lot of both. Look at that. A church, excellent. Yes, churches get grants. Absolutely. You need that 501c3 though. Even if you are a church, you still have to have your 501c3. All right. So I see a small business. I see nonprofits. I see a lot of churches. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love the fact that there are churches here with me because yes, you can get grant money. Now, if you are a nonprofit, including that church, the Foundation Directory Online, that is the leading source of information on the organizations that provide the grants. Now, it's $50 a month if you want to sit at home and search, but guess what? Go to your local library and get totally free access. Totally free access at your local library. And for those of you that are wondering, I'm here to help you. Yes, you're going to get this replay. No, I'm not charging you for the replay. I'm here to help you. So you're going to get this replay for free. All right. So don't worry about it. You will get the total replay. You won't have to pay for it. All right. I'm here to help you. Grants.gov, that's the source for federal grants. All right. Grant Watch is $20 a week, $200 a year. Grant Station is $200 for the whole year. Now, let's say you are a creator. Maybe you are a writer. Do you have any writers or authors or musicians or poets or theatrical performers, right? This is a special site for you called Grants for Creators. Grants for Creators. It's only $97 for the whole year. You get to search the entire year for grants just for you. $97. All right. Hi, Given. Given is a startup in real estate. Yes, there are grants for startups. Yes, we'll talk about that. The grant portal is the largest grant portal on the internet. It's $200 for the whole year. You get to search for the whole year. So, people, I would advise you to choose one or more of these portals so that you know where to find the funders. All right. Because you got to find them before you meet with them. All right. Now, let's get back to meeting with them. Okay. So, let's say you went through one of the portals, you found the grant. It's like you found the grant, you found the foundation that is in alignment with you. We'll talk more about alignment later. What do you do next? You got to meet with the foundations first before you submit the application. Again, I want you to remember this is the number one way to increase your chances of getting funded, right? Because in this meeting, now you're more than just a written application. You have to be able to build familiarity before you apply, people. Don't wait to apply and then try to meet with them. Now, if you've already submitted the application and you didn't meet with them, I still want you to meet with them. But if at all possible, you meet with them before. I've probably set up 1,000 of these meetings over the past 18 years. I've seen everything happen in those meetings. Let me tell you, people, if that foundation likes you and the meeting is going well, I've seen them literally tell you what to put in the application so that they can approve it. This is why you've got to meet with them. It automatically increases your chances of just being remembered. Remember, you've got to stand out from everybody else. Grants are competitive. You've got to be remembered. And that's what that meeting will do for you. And also, and this is critical, you gain insight before you submit. Because before you meet, what do you have? You have a grant application. You have some information on the website, on the foundation's website about the grant. But in that meeting, you can get specific insights as to what they're looking for. Because they may have a broad category on their website that talks about what the grant is for. But when you get into that meeting, you can find out specifically, like really, what areas are you giving money in, right? Right? It's before. Because you want insight into that grant application before you submit it. And you ask them, like, what are the areas that you're funding? And how do I fit? How does my program fit into those areas? You won't know that until you meet with them. You don't want to wait until you submit the application and then meet with them because they're going to give you helpful information on what you put into their application because they know what they're looking for. So why does this increase your chances so significantly? People, this is your audition for the money. This is your audition. Foundations and funders are very risk averse. It means they don't like risk. So the more they know about you, the more they feel they can trust you with their money. And you build that trust in the meeting. In the meeting, right? Oh, and I see some great questions. Please keep asking your questions either in the webinar chat or if you have a Q&A box, I'm going to get to all of the questions at the end. So please, I see some great questions. Please keep asking your question. I'm going to answer them all. All right. So in this meeting now, you're more than just what you wrote in an application. And you can literally turn those conversations into partnerships. Funders love the word partnership because they want to be your partner. People, this is not a money grab. This is not a money grab. They want to build a relationship with you. And the best way to do that is to meet with them. You have to think long game, right? You should be playing chess, not checkers, because when you go back in year two, you want to be able to ask for more money. When you go back to that same foundation in year three, you want to ask for even more money. You can do that when you build the relationship. You can do that when they know who you are other than the words in an application. And guess what? You can meet them in person. Now, if the foundation is in close proximity to you, meet with them in person. But if it's a national foundation, we're talking about a 30-minute Zoom meeting. Yes. As I said, I've set up hundreds and hundreds of these meetings over the last 18 years. Most of them were Zoom meetings, 30-minute Zoom meetings. This is not difficult. This is not difficult. And most of you have a fear, a real fear. I'm even seeing it in the webinar chat. You have a real fear of meeting with these foundations. Like, why would they want to meet with you? Do you know that this is their job? It is a job of a foundation to give out grant money. It is their job to give out grant money to the best candidate that aligns to where they're giving funding. They want to meet with you, people. They want to meet with you. They want to get to know you. They're not just passing out money like it's bread. They want to get to know you, right? So you don't have to be fearful of this. But here's what I don't want you to do. And this is where a lot of the fear comes from. The fear comes in you not being prepared. Because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to meet with them. I've set up the meeting. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to talk about? It's like, oh my gosh. That's where the fear comes in. You walk in unprepared. You go in, I've seen literally this is not what you want to do. You're just talking, talking, talking. You're trying to get out all this information about your organization. You need money. People need help. You have this passion. Your organization is going out of business. The lights are being turned out. People need your help. You got to have money. You got to have it now. Just talking, talking, talking because you're nervous and you need money. And you need it now, but you're not listening. You have to talk and then listen because you want to know what they have to say to you. Because what they have to say to you can lead you to get the grant money. And failing to connect your mission to the funder's goals. I see this all the time. We're going to do a deep dive into that. That's where the strategy comes in. Because as I always mention, if you are a restaurant or you're a bakery, you're making cupcakes and cookies, why are you wanting to meet with the foundation that only gives money to organizations that build motorcycles? No, no, that's not your organization. Or you give weak or vague answers. I'm going to show you how to avoid that too. Or you just focus on the need, like I need money. My organization needs money. All organizations need money, but you're not showing any impact yet. You're not showing why you. What have you done to show that you have a need and that you need the money? We'll talk more about that as well. We'll do a deep dive into the impact. Now, step one, prepare for the meeting. This is what you do before the meeting. Research the foundation's mission. And guess what? It's giving history because oftentimes, right on that foundation's website or that organization's website, they will have a list of where they have given money. Their funding requirements, oftentimes right on their website. And let me share a secret that I've used over the last 18 years as to how I find out where organizations give. I go to their 990 forms. That's their tax documents. Free. You can get a 990 of an organization free online. And I look at the 990 and there's a form in the back of the 990 that has a list of where that organization gave to. And you want to see if they've been giving to organizations similar to yours. But sometimes it's as simple as going to their website. Check out their mission. Does it align with what you're doing? Before you even step into that meeting, be able to talk about your impact. You have an after school program. How are the kids being helped? How are their lives being transformed by your after school program? Prepare your data, prepare your stories. You want to tell a story? I'm going to walk you through the meeting. And before you even get there, decide what you want out of the meeting before you step into it. Other than, I need money. We know you need money. That shouldn't be the only goal of that meeting. And you have to know what really makes your organization ready to handle money. How do you become grant ready? We're going to talk about that too, right? Yes, GuideStar is a great source to get the 990s. ProPublica, ProPublica. I'm going to put this in the chat. ProPublica is another source where you can get free. You can download free 990s of organizations. This is ProPublica. All right. Now, how do you find the right person? How do you find the right person? This is easier than you think because getting to the right person to meet with at the organization, it matters because you want to make sure you're talking to the right person. And if it's a larger foundation, they have different areas of specialty. So if you have a youth development program, you want to make sure that you're speaking with the person that gives out grants in the area of youth development. So again, this is easier than you think. Oftentimes it's run on their website, especially with the community foundations. Go to their website, they give you a list of staff. Usually they have a title like program director, community engagement manager, and oftentimes it will give you their name and their email address. Again, you've got to shift how you think about foundations and organizations that give funding, especially the community foundations. Typically, their name and email address right there on the site. What I don't want you to do, what I don't like is the info boxes. You know how they say contact us and a form comes up and you give them your name and email address and there's a little block and you fill it out and you hit submit. I don't like that because I don't know where that's going. You need a real name and a real email address, even if you have to call them to get the name of the person responsible for grants in your particular area. And I don't like sending to that, the info at ABC phone. No, you need a real email address. Another avenue that I use, another little secret is LinkedIn. You can always pull up the organization or the foundation on LinkedIn and find out who's affiliated with it. LinkedIn is great for that. Great for that. All right. Find the right person. Now, setting up the meeting. This is your meeting. This is your meeting. You have to set up this meeting. So you initiate the meeting since you're the one that needs the money. So you find the person, the name, the email address, and you send them an email, which is an introductory email, a few sentences about your organization, why there is an alignment, why you are aligned to that foundation's mission, why your programming or services are aligned to that organization's mission and where they're giving funding. Include some data. If you have data about your organization, we've served 150 students in our after school program and 100% go on to graduate from high school. Throw in a few nice stats. Use the term partnership language, like foundations, they love to hear the word partnership. But what you're not going to do is ask for money in that email. That will get you an immediate rejection letter. Immediate rejection letter. You never ask for money in the email. In the email, you ask for a meeting. And in the meeting, you ask for the money. Is that clear? I need for that to be super clear. Don't send these organizations emails asking for money. You're going to get a rejection letter. You're going to get a rejection letter. All right. You're setting up a meeting. Now, we are in the meeting. It's your turn. This is your meeting. You set it up. I want you to build rapport quickly. Go first, and then you listen. But you're in the meeting. Position the meeting as alignment. You don't go in there. Now, listen, people. You don't go into the meeting and within 32 seconds of you sitting down, you say, I need money. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. This is what you do. This is your equation. This is how you frame this meeting. You talk about the need, the solution, and then the impact. Why did you start your organization? What was going on? What need was it? Do you have a restaurant that you're opening? Maybe it's because there were no other restaurants in the community. And so now you're able to provide, hot, fresh food for people in the community. You've hired people. That's been part of the impact. Part of it is community development because now there's a successful business in that community for you small businesses. Maybe you have a homeless shelter because there are huge numbers of unhoused people in the city. And you wanted to make sure that you had a way for them to have transitional housing. That's your solution. And the impact has been, 80% of the people that come into our transitional housing end up in permanent housing, or they end up getting their GED because we provide educational training. So I want you all to put into the chat, this is your little equation for this meeting, need, solution, impact. So for those of you that are thinking, what do I say? How do I say it? What you start off talking about the need, why you started, what is it? What was the reason why you started? What was you trying to address? And then your solution for it, which is your program or your service or your organization. And then what has been your impact? And if you are new and you are a startup, why are you starting? Why you? Why is it that your organization is going to resolve whatever that's happening as to why you're starting your organization? Someone said that they are starting a real estate company. Why? What's happening? Why is it that you're starting a real estate company in your particular community? What do you see happening that makes you think, okay, we need another real estate company? And where do you hope to be the impact? Because if you're a startup, you won't have impact, right? But you know what you want your impact to be. So in the chat, everybody, need, solution, impact, need, solution. I want you to write this into the chat. This is your equation. This is how the meeting operates. Need, solution, impact. Everybody write this into the chat. I want you to remember this. Need, solution, impact. This is your framework for the whole meeting. Need, solution, impact. You talk about your need, how you are going to solve it, your solution, and then what you hope the impact will be or what has it been. Prepare to answer really tough questions. Be confident. And this is story time, people. I always advocate that you show a 2 to 3 minute video outlining again whatever the issue is, how you're going to solve it, and your successes. Include testimonials. This does not have to be expensive. 2 to 3 minute video about your organization. Foundations love to see videos. All right. And if you don't have a video, talk about a story about somebody that was impacted by your organization. It doesn't matter whether you are a small business or a nonprofit. It doesn't matter. How was somebody impacted? Because you want that foundation to know that people are being changed because of your organization. You want them to know that. All right. Now, it's still your turn. I want you to be able to show this impact. Show how you're different. Remember, I said you don't want to blend in? Because foundations are looking for organizations that can show impact over just like feel good, like I want to help save the world. That's not enough. So if you have that after school program, it's not good enough to just say we serve 150 students. Well, what's happening with the students? Can you say that a certain percentage improved their test scores or a certain percentage was able to gain confidence and they were able to graduate from high school and then either go on to college or take a trade or join the armed services? You open up the restaurant, you started with 2 employees, now you have 10 employees. This meeting is not just about you wanting to be likable. You need to be fundable. What are you doing? How have you been successful? That needs to come out in the meeting. Not just about being likable. You want to be fundable. Organizations want to know that you're making a difference. Now, it's the funder's turn. You've had the floor. Now it's time to listen. Now it's the organization. And you're literally, your wheels should be turning as they're talking because you're listening. They're going to talk about where they fund. They're going to let you know where they are giving money. And maybe you came in or thinking that they gave money in one area and you were ready to talk about that. And then once they started talking, you're like, oh, they're also giving money in area B. Like, wait a minute, I have a program in area B or this particular industry, industry C. Okay, we also cover industry C. So you might have to shift your funding needs if they align with maybe some of your other strategies. That's why you've got to listen to what they're saying. Because it could change how you go back and tweak that application. Because now maybe there's 2 areas where you can apply for funding based on what they told you. And whatever you do, do not leave that meeting without providing what we in the grant industry call the ask. And that is you asking for the grant money. And it's okay. Find out how much money they're giving in that particular area. Let them know what you need. Well, we need $20,000 to build a playground behind our childcare center. Let them know what you need. And here's another nugget. Foundations know about other foundations. This is a very close-knit community. So you know what? Don't leave that meeting without asking for a referral to other funding sources. It's okay for you to say, well, we want to be able to connect with other organizations that could provide funding for us. Can you recommend others? Even in that community, it's okay to ask because these foundation personnel, they are a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge. So this is what works when the meeting is followed by a strong strategy. We're going to get into the actual strategy. And this is Nicola. Nicola only asked for $50,000 over 2 years, but she knew how to meet with the organization, and they were so impressed with her grant application and those communications that they countered. And I always say, I've never seen this in my 18 years. They countered and they said, you asked for $50,000 over 2 years. I want to give you $250,000 over 6 months because we're so impressed with this program that you're talking about. How would you like for an organization to literally give you 5 times what you asked for because you knew how to work that meeting and you followed that meeting with strategy? But this is real. She's my one of my clients. So she knows how to work the meeting, right? This is what's possible. So after the meeting, you want to send your thank you note, but use what you learned in the meeting to strengthen that proposal. If they're asking for materials, provide them. And keep funders up to date on your wins. This is so important. Remember, I said you got to be visible. So if you have an e-newsletter, place them on your e-newsletter so that they know what's happening within your organization, right? If you are being successful in your nonprofit or your small business, that should be all over your social media accounts. And think about tagging them so that they know what's going on with you. Because this is how you can turn, even if it's a no, even if they say no, keep them up to date on what you're doing so that they know, okay, wow, her program is working. And here's how you turn lemons into lemonade. Let's say you get, for all of you that said you kept getting no's, please connect with the foundation and ask them why they rejected your application. Use that information to turn into a yes the next time, because if they said, well, your impact statement was weak, or we didn't really see a lot of the programming that you said you were doing, take that information so that when you revise your application, you've addressed their issues. Don't ever just let a no be a no. Oftentimes they are more than willing to meet with you and tell you why they didn't give you the grant. And it's okay for you to meet with them and ask, like, what happened? What could I have done better? And don't forget about AI. Let me show you 2 ways AI can help you with this meeting. AI can strengthen grant readiness and help you differentiate your organization and show impact. You can, if you don't know what to say in that initial email that you're going to send to set up that meeting, ask ChatGPT to create the initial outreach email. Here's a prompt that you can use. Write a warm, respectful email to request a 20-minute meeting with a foundation or program officer to explore alignment with our housing program or whatever your program is. Make sure you put information about your program in there. And then drop the link to their foundation into ChatGPT so that they know the organizations you want to meet with. They will create a letter for you in seconds. They will create that outreach letter that you're going to email to them in seconds. Here's option 2, which I love, because with my clients, I do role plays. I do role plays. I pretend like I'm the program officer at the foundation, and we do role plays, especially with my grant intensives. We do role plays all the time. But prepare for your conversation like a professional. I don't want you going in there scared. You need to be ready. So guess what? Let AI literally create the questions that it believes the foundation is going to ask you before you even get into the meeting. So if they try to throw you a curveball, AI has already thought about what they might ask you, and you've already answered the question because you know what the question is. So here's a prompt. Act as a program officer from whatever the foundation is, XYZ Foundation. I will present my program about whatever your program is, whatever the target population is, whatever the location is, and you will respond with typical questions and concerns. It's going to give you a list. Tell it, like, give me 10 questions that you think the foundation is going to ask me. It will give you those 10 questions, and you will have time to answer them before you even got into the meeting. Before you even got into the meeting. This is how you overcome all that fear. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what they're going to ask me. Yes, you do, because you've used AI. And I've seen the questions that they come up with. They are spot on. Remember, I've set in these meetings so many times over the past 18 years. The AI questions are spot on. Take this meeting and let it be to your advantage because most organizations, they don't even get this far because they didn't even know they could meet. But now you do, like you did. You got in the room, you built the trust, you made an impression that is going to significantly increase your chances. Now let's make sure you capitalize on. Okay, so you've had the meeting. You had a great meeting. Now you got to go to strategy. This is where strategy comes in because a meeting will give you insight. It will give you access to the people because now you've gotten their email addresses. You've met with them. You've had some rapport. You built that relationship. Now you got to take advantage of it. Now you got to use strategy because your proposal, remember, now should match what was discussed. Now your application is aligned and you can talk about your impact clearly. Now I want you to take everything you gain in that meeting and turn it into a strong, fundable application. This is about using strategy now. You've done the meeting. Now implement the strategy. 3 ways, 3-part strategy system. Making sure you're grant ready, making sure you find the right funder, and making sure you know how to differentiate and share your impact. These are the 3 decisions that funders are going to make before they approve anything. So you've been in the meeting. Now make sure you're on top of all 3 of these. How do you be grant ready? Make sure you've got your documents together, your legal documents, your financial documents. If you are currently in business, you should have your what? Balance sheet, your income statement, which is your profit and loss statement. Have your programs defined. Make sure you know what your projects are going to be. Know your numbers. How many people are you helping a year? How many people are you hiring a year? Be able to explain whatever those outcomes are. How many homeless people have you placed in shelters? How many kids do you help in your after school program? How many children do you care for in your daycare center? And what is the outcome? Are you providing a curriculum? What is the outcome of the curriculum? Are they increasing their learning skills? Having a real grant template and not, a bunch of like scattered pieces here and there will help you tremendously because everything will be in one template. Your story will be told in one template. You don't want to impress them in the meeting and then you're not even grant ready. You don't even have your legal documents because your credibility is going to drop super fast if you're a nonprofit and you don't have that 501c3 and you know they need that as a requirement for their grant application. Number 2 is, oh my gosh, funder misalignment. You just trying to get the money. Oh my gosh, you saw it was $1 million grant. It's like, I got to get it. Let me tell you a true story that happened 2 weeks ago. I was working with a client to coach the client on 2 different grant applications. The client had written the 2 applications. These were government grants. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to read the application. Before we even talk, I'm reading the application. I read the applications. They were not applications for her. She was not intended. Her organization was not the organization that was intended for the grants, and she had already written the applications. You cannot chase open grants. You have to make sure, read the instructions. Make sure you are meeting with the right funder. 87% of proposals are rejected because the organization applied to the wrong funder. 87%. Match your program to what they actually fund. Now, you should have discovered this in the meeting. And now you can like mirror your priorities if they align in the language where appropriate, because you have the meeting. Use the meeting to confirm the fit before you even apply. The meeting helps you test the alignment to make sure, okay, yes, I am actually providing a program that they are providing money to. Everyone will get a replay, a copy of the replay. And time is out for guessing, people. There's too much grant money out here. And having this system will allow you to apply for multiple grants a week. Some of you apply for like, one or two grants a year. No, it is very possible to apply for multiple grants a week when you've got a system. Here's another avenue for using AI. Now you can do it the old way. You can actually use some of those portals, which are great. I do it both. I love the portals, but I also use AI. But some of you like, oh my gosh, you got 10 different tabs open. Some of you now have more than 10 tabs open. Come on, be serious. Let me know in the chat how many people got more than 10 tabs open. You got 10 tabs open. You trying to search, search, search. You just trying to find. You're trying to, oh my gosh. You're trying to look. You're trying to look. You can use AI. Here's an AI prompt. Act as an experienced grant strategist and foundation researcher. Always give AI its position. Let it know how it's going to be searching for you. All right. Give it its position. It's a grant strategist and foundation researcher. My nonprofit, XYZ Foundation, provides fill in the program or service for target population in your city. Identify 5 different grants. For each foundation, include the foundation name, priorities, typical grant size, and why your organization would be a strong match. Use this prompt to get your list, but always give AI its job. It's going to give you much better results. All right. So let's talk about the third mistake. This is the biggest one. This is where a lot of even your strong programs lose out on money. Not because you're not doing good work, but because you sound like everybody else. You have been unable to show how you're different. Look, we have the community, we have the community, we have the community. Generic language gets ignored, people. Your outcomes, that's what makes you memorable. Because these organizations, they want proof. You can be passionate. Oh, that's beautiful. They want proof. So I want you to think not just about the transformation, impact. You don't need to be doing more. You need to present your work better. You don't need to be doing more. You need to be presenting what you do better. Here's the difference here, right? Let's say you have a workforce development program. We help individuals gain employment and improve their lives. That's what probably every workforce development program can say. You're not grant ready. You're not talking about numbers, outcomes, proof, no structure, nothing. You sound like everybody else. But let's go over to the grant ready organization because they're saying we provide workforce training to 120 adults annually with 78% securing employment within 90 days. You got clear outcomes, you got measurable impact, you've defined the program, now you're credible. Now it makes you more fundable. This is the difference. And this grant template that you need will again show your uniqueness and your impact because organizations want to know what is the problem? How are you solving it? You want to buy real estate in a particular community? What are you going to do with the real estate? Is it to build housing? Is it to build a shopping complex? A shopping complex, that's community development. You should be applying for a community development grant. You want to build housing for affordable housing? There are billions of dollars of grant money available in affordable housing. It can't just be, I want to buy real estate. What are you doing with it? What do you hope to do with it? And if you are a startup, again, what is your intended impact? Here's a child care center. This is what most child care centers write. Our child care center provides high quality care and early learning for children in our community. We are committed to helping children grow, learn, and succeed in a safe and nurturing environment. That's not going to get you any grant money. That's what probably most child care centers can write. Sounds like every other child care center. No numbers, no proof, no outcomes, no uniqueness. There is no reason to choose you. Now, here's a strong version. Our child care center prepares children aged 3 to 5 for kindergarten success through a structured learning model that integrates literacy, social development, and parent engagement. Over the past 12 months, 87% of children met or exceeded kindergarten readiness benchmarks. 92% of parents reported improved learning engagement at home. 80% of students advance at least one level in early literacy assessments, and our program combines daily instruction with weekly parent workshops, ensuring learning continues beyond the classroom. Now, funders can justify saying, wow, they're making a difference. Specific, measurable, outcome driven, shows how it works, and shows results. Do you see the difference? Let me know in the chat. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Do you see the difference between this sentence and this one? Here's your takeaways. Meet with foundations. They increase your chances significantly, but the meeting alone does not win. The grant funders need to see strategy, alignment, and impact. Your proposal must support what you said in the meeting. The organizations that get funded do both well. You have the meeting, you create that relationship, and then you hit them with strategy. I'll be providing my email address for those of you who want to meet further. Here is Keisha. Keisha attended one of my sessions, one of my private sessions. Taught her how to meet with the foundation. We did some role plays. Taught her how to use strategy. She had never written a grant before. She has a childcare center. Never written a grant before. 8 weeks later, she had a $100,000 grant. She had never written a grant before. We did role plays. We did strategy. Like, I can't make this up. 8 weeks later, she had not just written, she had won $100,000. It's meeting and strategy, people. So what are you going to do? What is your next step? Because now you understand that the meeting matters, strategy matters, your proposal must match what funders heard. Now you need a system to help you do that correctly so that you can apply for grants over and over and over again. So let me show you 2 ways to move forward. At this point, you don't need more information. You need some structure to break through all those rejection letters. So I've got 2 options for you. We will do it for you. We will literally create that grant template. You and I are going to meet for a private strategy session. Because if you don't have time to figure this out and you want it done right, we will do it for you. We will literally create a customized grant template for your organization and a 2-page executive summary. You're going to be able to take that grant template. It's going to tell your story. It will talk about 15 different areas of your organization. You're going to use it to apply for grant after grant after grant. Because many organizations struggle, like not because their mission isn't strong. It's not because you have a problem with your mission. You're not structured. You have papers all over, just everywhere. We're going to build this template for you. In the template, it will cover your organizational profile, your program description, your needs statement, your impact statement, your target population, your goals, your outcomes, your budget. We're going to do a budget. We're going to do a logic model for you. We're going to talk about how your organization is sustainable. We're going to do that for you so that you know it's done right. And you're going to walk away with the grant template. We're even going to do the 2-page executive summary. That's your anchor document. Because when you meet with the foundations, you want to attach a document that they can read quickly to be familiar with your organization. That's what the executive summary will do. That's the #1 document funders read first. So it's got to be right. We're going to write that for you. We're going to write all of this for you. You're going to meet with me one-on-one privately. And I'm throwing in two huge bonuses. You saw me talk a little bit about AI. I developed one of the only in-depth courses on the market that helps you use AI to research and write and win grants. It's $3,000. I'm throwing it in. It is a bonus because I don't believe in just leaving people. After you get the grant template, you will still have the course. This is a full course. The only other courses I know that are as thorough as this course belong to universities. You're getting the course as a bonus. Also, I'm going to give you a list of grants. So you're going to be out of excuses. You will have the grant template. For future work, you'll have an AI course that teaches you how to research and write. And I'm going to give you a list of customized grants to your organization. So you'll be ready to go. And you're going to meet with me. We're going to do your strategy. And even if you are new, and this happens, you might be new, you might not know like what should I be focused on? I got like 10 different ideas in my head. What should I be focused on? You will leave that strategy session with me with complete clarity. Because think about the value of you applying for 2 grants a week instead of 2 per year. More opportunities, more funding. What is the cost of you saving hours? Just trying to avoid the burnout. This is the same framework my organizations that work with me are using to secure right now 5 and 6 figure grants when other people are thinking there's no grant money at all. So you got $15,000 worth of materials. The template alone is $10,000. Your private session with me is $2,000. The course that you get, the AI course that we're going to throw in, $3,000. The list of custom grants, $600. So this is not just a document, people. This is your foundational template that you're going to use to apply for grant after grant after grant. And here's your price. It's not $15,000. Think about the time you're going to save is $997. That includes meeting with me privately for your strategy session or 2 payments of $597. So what do you get? Again, that template is everything. Your executive summary, your strategy call. No more guessing, no more guessing. And you know I'm going to show you how to. I'm going to give you all the gems of meeting with these foundations. You even get the AI course. You're going to get custom grants to your organization. Doesn't matter if you are a nonprofit or a for-profit, doesn't matter. There are billions of dollars in grants available. So it's $997 or 2 payments of $597. We're putting the link in the chat. Or maybe you want to do it yourself. This is for the organizations that look, you want the strategy built correctly the first time. You want to learn how to do this yourself. You want to learn how to create this grant template. I have what's called, and my students, by the way, nicknamed this course the OG course. This course has sold over $1 million because it works. Because it works. This is my first course that I developed that I used to secure over $18 million for clients. I put everything I knew into this course. It's the grant writing for non-writers, keys to winning grant proposals. This is the OG course. If you want to learn how to write grants, this is a step-by-step system. And by the time you're done and you get through these lessons, you'll have your grant template. But guess what? You don't get left alone. You still become a part of my community. I have free monthly group coaching calls. You will be a part of those group coaching calls every month. I have a private Facebook group. That is, if you're belonging to that Facebook group, it's everything. You get to ask questions. We drop grants, so many different grants into the Facebook group. But in this course, you get your checklist, you get lessons, you get downloadables, you get videos, and it's step by step. And yes, clients have won millions of dollars total. They won so many 6 figure grants just using the course. So if you got time, go through the course and create your grant template. It's valued at $5,000. I've had it audited 3 times now. The course is $25.97. Oh, by the way, you get a list of 600 funders with the course. Funders list is worth 1,000. You got planners, schedules, workbooks, $1,400. And the coaching calls, they're group coaching calls, once a month live. You get with the course. Those are priceless because in a lot of those group coaching calls, and by the way, even if you do the done for you, you're part of the community. You come to the group coaching calls too. Oftentimes people will ask me, Linda, can you search for a particular grant for me for my organization? That's all a part of the free group coaching calls. This course for the next 3 days is only $297. It's normally $497. And yes, you write it off as tax deductible. You get a certificate of completion. It includes the Facebook group and the coaching. 297, 297 for the course. I keep my products affordable because you need them. This is what happens when strategy is in place. She is a student. So taught her how to write grants. And people, writing a grant is no longer a 100-page document, by the way. A lot of these applications are 3, 4, 5 pages. Kimberly said this was like a 4-page application. She said, Linda, this was the easiest grant I've ever applied for in my life. She won $84,000. Like a 4-page document, but she knew what to write. And she knew how to write it. So either done for you, let us create that grant template that you're going to use to apply for these grants. We're going to tell your story in that grant template. Or take the course. Do one or the other. You please, whatever you do, do something. Do something to move your organization forward. Because if you try to keep doing this yourself, you're going to get the same results. So you get 2 resources, either the template for $9.97, which gets you that private strategy session with me, and the template and the course and the executive summary, or just take the course and do it yourself. So at this point, you really have everything you need. You know how to get the meeting. You know how to lead the conversation. You know what funders are looking for. Now, really, it's about you. It's about what you do next. The meeting is going to give you that meeting is going to give you the advantage, but the strategy is going to help you convert that advantage into actual funding. You got to do something. The money is available, people. So ask yourself, all of you ask yourself, I would like to see some answers in the chat. Where do you want to be in 3 months? You want to be frustrated or funded? Let me know in the chat. Frustrated or funded in 3 months? Where do you want to be? Still getting grant rejections? Frustrated or funded? Which one? Frustrated or funded? Frustrated or funded? Emma says 1.5 million. Claim it. Claim it. It's Q&A time. I'm going to stop sharing. And quickly, I want to show you though, if you want to buy the Done For You, let me share my screen really super quickly. Here's the Done For You link. The link is in the chat, by the way. This is the page. Claim my grant prep package. This is the Done For You. This is what you get. The grant template, the private session, the executive summary, the free AI course, the 10 grants. You can pay $9.97 or 2 payments of $5.97. And guess what? For those of you that are interested, you also have, if you click pay another way, let's get rid of all of that. If you click pay another way, let me show you what will happen. It will lead you to buy now, pay later. And what will pop up, I have to put in like a name and email address and phone number, but what will pop up is Klarna or Afterpay. And those are four payments, same as cash. If you want to do buy now, pay later, we do have buy now, pay later. All right. This is the OG course. That's $297. You hit purchase now. This is the course. And also this has a buy now, pay later too. It also has a two-month payment plan. Both of these have 2-month payment plans if you would rather do the 2-month payment plans. But maybe you want buy now, pay later. That's 4 months, same as cash. You can always buy the course. And I do provide 1 hour strategy sessions that are 247. You can add that on to the course if you still want to meet with me. But the best deal by far is it done for you because we write it for you. All right. All right. Let's go to, let me stop sharing. Let me get to the questions first because I did see quite a few. All right. You can meet with me individually. If you want more information about the done for you, send me an email. Melissa, if you could please put my email address. All of you should put my email address in your Safe Senders list anyway, because that's where you're going to get the link to the replay. And I don't want it going to your spam. So yes, you can request a meeting with me via this email, hello@grantwritingfornonwriters.com. So yes, we do assist with grant writing. For for select customers, you've got to be grant ready. You've got to be grant ready, but we can certainly sit down and talk about it. How crucial is the LinkedIn profile? I really don't play there. Oh, it's not. I mean, you should have a decent LinkedIn profile, but let me tell you what they're going to do. The funders, they're not really going to LinkedIn. They are going to your website for your organization. That's far more important than a LinkedIn profile. When it comes to meeting with the foundation, they're going to go to your website to see what your footprint is, to see what your programming is. So please make sure you have a current, doesn't have to be an extravagant, expensive website, but you should have that presence there because they're going to go to it. How would one go about speaking with a grant portal like the Amber Grant, which passes on the app to other organizations? What would that look like? So if there is an opportunity, so if you when you go into Amber Grants for Women, you can always first of all, Amber Grants for Women, they control their own funding, unlike Hello Alice. So Amber Grants for Women, there is a way in which you can set up a meeting with the people who make decisions for the Amber Grant, which is on their website. So go to their website. Now, if it's a portal like helloalice.com, where oftentimes they are managing grants for other organizations, go to the organization that is sponsoring the grant to meet with them, not meeting with Hello Alice. Go to the sponsoring organization and meet with them. Would you advise someone to create their own LLC online or hire an attorney to do it? That's really up to you. I can tell you that you can get free help to create your LLC if you go to score.org. I'm going to put this into the chat. Score.org is an organization funded by the Small Business Administration, and they help organizations to set up they provide advice on how you set up your small business. And they're in, I would think, an overwhelming majority of major cities. So go to score.org and see where they are in your location. It's totally free. Totally free. How do you get the grant template? It's $9.97. You can click the link. When you click the link and you pay for the grant template, you will get an email. The email will include an intake form. Once you complete the intake form, you're going to meet with me privately and we're going to have a strategy session. I'm going to get all the information I need from you from the intake form and the strategy session. And then within 2 weeks, you will have your grant template. All right. It's pretty simple. How do you go about responding to rejection emails? You send out an email asking you to meet with the organization and just let them know you want to know more about how you can improve your application for the next round. So it's an informational meeting is what you want to learn more about why you were rejected and how you can improve for the next session, for the next grant application. I'm going to go to the top here for the grant questions, and I'm going to go down slowly because I see quite a few. All right, let me get rid of that. So yes, the done for you is $9.97 or two payments of $5.97 with us. If you want to try Afterpay or Klarna, they do have four payments, same as cash, but you have to go through them. But even if you go through them, you still get everything right away with us. So you still get the email, you complete the intake form, and you meet with me, as soon as we have available time. So we don't wait for you to finish the four payments. Even if you buy the two payment plan with us, we don't wait until after you paid for the two payments to meet with you. We do all that right away. All right, let's see. All right. So, yes, make lemonade out of those lemons, out of those rejection letters. Let me tell you a little story. This happened a long time ago. I was working with a client. I had written a grant application for the client. And look, I knew this grant application was on point. Like I knew I had written that grant application. So when we got the rejection letter, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I know I slayed that grant application. And sure enough, I said, we need to meet with this community foundation. I need to know what's going on because I know I slayed that grant application. And sure enough, I met with them and they said, it wasn't your grant application, Linda. Your application was wonderful. It's just that you operate in your client operates in multiple states. And we're a community foundation. So when we went to the website of your organization, we saw activities in another state and didn't see enough activities in our community and in our state. That's why they rejected the application. So what do? We revised that website and we put in all kinds of activities showing, different programming in that particular state. And sure enough, the next time we got the grant. So learn from that. Always ask why you were rejected. And two, make sure you have a decent website. All right, let's see. Other questions. Other questions. Let's see. The library is a massive help, and the library not only has free access to the foundation directory online, but sometimes they have free access to GrantWatch. You have to ask them. All right, let's see. I'm a startup farmer. So the news for you is that look for grants for rural areas. Look for grants because not all Department of Agricultural grants were dismissed. Start there when it comes to grants.gov for your farm. But also, where is it? Is it in a rural area? Or is this going to be maybe an urban farm where you are, showcasing and providing how you grow fresh vegetables and fruits to urban desert? So depends on a few more details. How hard is it to get a meeting before applying for the grant? You have to ask. You have to ask. Lately, we run into most of our foundation funders asking for letters of interest before you can even apply. Absolutely. You know why? Because there are so many organizations sending out full applications to these foundations, and they're not even the right organization. And foundations have limited staff, right? I mean, they cannot afford to have their staff looking at all of these grant applications and 90% weren't even supposed to be sent to them because there wasn't an alignment. So you know what they're doing now? They're asking organizations to complete an LOI, which is a letter of interest. It's usually no more than maybe 2 or 3 pages. Excuse me. And from that document, they decide if there's an alignment. Excuse me. And if there is, then you get the full application. If it's a national grant, how do you meet the foundation? Zoom, 30-minute Zoom meeting. And why would they want to meet with little old me? Because you may have a program that's affecting organizations and they have a passion for also supporting those organizations. And if you are providing that program and you're showing impact that you're helping, why wouldn't they want to meet with you? Why wouldn't they want to meet with you? Let's see. Yes, GuideStar. I talked about GuideStar. GuideStar is another place to get those 990s. Need solution impact, people. Need solution impact. I am Daniel Gobo from Liberia, West Africa. So those of you who are here from international locations, this is for you as well. There are organizations here in the U.S. that will fund programs in international locations. You don't have to be here in the United States. Keep in mind, there are conglomerates like Microsoft, like Sony, like the Kellogg Foundation, the Gates Foundation. A lot of their focus areas aren't here in the US. It's on issues that are happening in other parts of the world. So please don't think because you're here from an international location that all of a sudden this doesn't apply to you. It does. Shoes for Your Soul nonprofit children's shoe organization. That sounds fantastic. That sounds fantastic. Free money Shark Tank style. I definitely need to be better with that. Do we send a thank you for consideration letter? Absolutely. Should we set up the meeting or just reply to the rejection email? Oh, please don't reply to the rejection email. Call them, set up a meeting. How can AI help you in your grant writing without sounding like it's AI generated or answered? Thank you for that question. You have to, there's two ways that you need to train AI in your voice so that it sounds like you and not some robot. One, when you get into your chat GPT in the lower left-hand corner where your profile is, lower left-hand corner where your profile is, you click on your name and there will be a section that comes up that will allow you to, let me see if I can't share my screen really quickly because it'll be easier, probably easier for me to show this to you because I have my chat GPT up. This is my paid version of ChatGPT is $20 a month. So where it says, oh, I don't want it to do that. There we go. I don't want it to do that. Linda Peavy. Click Linda Peavy. Click personalization. Now, base, style, and tone. It's at default, but you can make it sound professional, friendly, candid, quirky, efficient, cynical. Characteristics, do you want it to sound more warm? Do you want it to sound more enthusiastic? Do you want less emojis? Do you want to make sure it doesn't use those M dashes? That's number one. Number two, feed it documents that you've written. Feed it documents that you've written so that it learns your voice and ask it to learn your voice. You're in Hawaii. Like I said, I was just in Hawaii. So it's more about what are you doing with the farm? What are your crops? And where is it located? Is it in underrepresented communities in Hawaii? That that's yeah, it sounds like it's a remote part of Maui. So that's rural. So you're gonna be looking for rural funds. Underserved, yes. Very underserved, yes. And also because of the population in Hawaii, right? um, Asian Pacific Islanders, a lot of those groups are considered underrepresented. So you need to position yourself that way. So I would love to help you. All right, let me. Also, number two, as I was saying, to train ChatGPT, upload documents that you've written. All right, and ask it to read it and understand your voice. So those are the two ways to do it. And it will do it. So you won't have that problem of sounding robotic. Okay, let's see here. Is it possible to meet with the funder on virtual meetings? Absolutely. Typically, you're going to do that, especially if they're a national foundation. They're not in your location. You could be in Connecticut, right? They could be in California. You set up that 30-minute Zoom meeting. How do you set up the Zoom meeting? You need Zoom. Just go in there and learn. Zoom is very easy. So you have to go into Zoom and set up the meeting. But you need to contact them and find out when is it best for them to meet, what day. First, you got to find the right person, send them the email, and say you want to set up the meeting, and then communicate with them and find out the best day and time. We'd love to see a list of your best recommended questions for funder meetings. I would say go to AI. That's going to give you a list based on your organization, right? But when you go in there, be prepared, regardless of your industry, be prepared to answer why did you start? Why you? What is your impact? If you're a startup, what was going on that you said, I need to start this organization? What did you see that wasn't happening? You want to start a restaurant? Why one more restaurant in your area? And what are you going to do differently to address the issue? All right. Be prepared because remember, grants are competitive. So you've got to be able to answer why you above somebody else. Build the relationship in the email. Absolutely. Send that email. Send the email. You got 3 days, by the way, to get these deals. You got 3 days to get the 997 grant template that will be written for you. You got 3 days to get the 297 price for the course because that goes back up to 497. And the two bonuses for the done for you happens in the next 3 days. So you'll get that grant list and you'll get the free AI course. All right, let's see. Okay, other questions. Thank you, Danielle. Everybody will get the replay for sure. I'm making sure I. Thank you, Jeline. Thank you, Karikia. We can meet, Tasha. I'm providing my email. Valerie, I've had 2 meetings with foundations in the past 2 weeks. Everything she said is spot on. Thank you for the affirmation, Valerie. Thank you. In case we're in the United States, do we respond to rejection? Right, so I answered that one. Don't send a reply. Just call them and send another email to set up a meeting. Daniel says I like the OG course. The OG course is everything. The OG course literally has sold $1 million because it works. Organizations take the course, they learn how to write grants, and some of them become so proficient at writing grants, they become grant writers. And they start writing grants for other organizations to earn money. It's amazing. And it's only 297 for the next 3 days. It's normally 497. You want both resources, you definitely make sure you do it in the next 3 days so you get it at the reduced price. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. I believe that is it. How important is it to have? Excellent question. Do you work with organizations outside the US? We are based in Liberia, Africa. Yes, I do. How important is it to have an actual location in order to be funded? When you say actual location, I think what you mean is a physical location. You absolutely positively do not need a physical location to be funded. You have to remember that a lot of these organizations are service-based. So they're operating out of their homes. Now, if you want to use your home address, you can. However, get an iPostal street address. Go to UPS. UPS has street addresses. Get a street address with UPS or iPostal. Or go into a co-working building and rent out space there, rent out office space there, and use their mailing address. But you absolutely, positively do not need a physical address. However, for those of you with physical addresses, you have actual buildings. Do you know that there are grants geared for you just because you have a physical location? Yes, there are. All right, let's see. Da, 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 da. How long will I have between payments? 30 days. So if you do the 2 month payment plan with us, you will be billed when you buy the template or the course, and then 30 days later, you'll have the second payment. All right. I have a nonprofit children's shoe organization in South Jersey, and we would like a partnership with all sneaker companies. What is the best way to achieve that goal? That is a very long answer that I have for you. If you want to come in, I would be happy to sit down and have a strategy session with you. For sure. I would start local, right? Like start local because I can tell you a Nike's program, like you can't go to Nike and ask for grants because you have to what you can do is register. I think they actually go through 360 Goods, I think it is. But there are other programs um like Adidas. Adidas has a program. But what you might want to do is start local, like find out are there shoe organizations in your local area that you can start with, right? And then start small, but also be prepared to know what you want the major organizations to do. Is it just all about grant money? Do you just want grant money? Or is there another way? Here's another suggestion that I have for you. Every major league sporting team not only has their national foundation, MLB, NBA, NFL, they have their national foundations, but every individual sporting team has their own foundation. What sporting teams are close to where you are located that you can meet with their foundation and strike up a partnership? Because they're going to be one of the easiest ways to get to Nike or Adidas or Skechers, right? Go through your local sporting organizations because again, all of them have foundations, right? New Jersey Nets, that they have foundations. Meet with them, all right? But know ahead of time what you want out of that meeting, what you want them to do, all right? Do you have a workshop that teaches how to go about sourcing local to us grant? And so the course does that. The course teaches you always start local. There's more grant money locally, and then you go nationally, but you do both. The grant course teaches you how to do all of that. Always start local. And then, as a part of the grant course, you can come to the monthly grant coaching meetings and ask that question. And I can actually do searches for you locally. But start local, right? And by the way, you list the city, county, state, you're absolutely right. Your city government has grants. Your county government has grants. Your state government has grants. I met with a client 2 days ago. He had already received $6 million from his state. Please don't think that local governments don't have grant money. They do. They do. So do both. Start local, but also go national. All right. What happens when you send several let's meet emails, no response? You're not sending it to the right person. You're not sending it to the right person. You're not sending it to the right email. You're not sending it to the right email. You need to find a better email. More virtual address works just great. Yes, the virtual address is fine. Absolutely fine. Send me an email, Sheila. Sheila, send me an email. Are there ways to receive grants for funds without having my 501(c)(3) yet? Yes, it's rare, it's more difficult. If you don't have your 501(c)(3), you're a nonprofit. Now, this is only for nonprofits. If you're a small business, you don't need a 501(c)(3). But if you're a nonprofit and you don't have your 501(c)(3) yet, you need a fiscal sponsor. And so if you get a fiscal sponsor, they are applying for grants on your behalf, but be careful because they're the ones that get the money if they win the grant. And then you have to rely on them to get the money to you. Now, you want your 501(c)(3) because at the end of the day, if you're taking donations, it means that the donor can write off the donation as a charitable contribution. And most grants, the overwhelming majority of grants will require a nonprofit to be a 501(c)(3). But in the interim, you can find a fiscal sponsor who is responsible. Where's the best grant to secure? Where's the best grant to secure for a van? Our nonprofit program assists meals after school. So you have to do research for that. And it's very difficult to get money for a vehicle. I keep it real. It's very difficult. However, there was a progressive grant, the only grant I've ever seen in my 18 years where you literally had to use the money to buy a car. Now, if I were you, I would find out whether or not Progressive is going to be re-releasing that grant. It was the first year was $25,000, the second year was $50,000. But you literally had to buy a car for use in service of your nonprofit or small business to use the grant. But I would look for ways to secure money to pay for other aspects of your organization. Your nonprofit assists with meals after school and summer school. There are programs specifically that can help you fund the food. And also, if you are actually providing food, there are organizations like Save the Children and other organizations that literally can provide you with the food. A lot of these food banks, that's where they're getting their food from. So there are other ways for you to receive funding for your organization rather than focusing in on buying a van. I'm in Ohio. I do provide one-on-one services. Yes, that progressive grant was amazing. It was like you had to buy a car. You had to buy a car with the grant. I had never seen that before. All right, I believe that's it. Let me just make sure I've answered all of the questions. Let's see. So the links are in the chat to buy the template or the course. I'm going to go back through here one more time, just to make sure I've answered all of the questions. All right. Let me just make sure I've answered all of the questions. You got 3 days, by the way. 3 days. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see here. Yes, you can rewatch it. Everybody's going to get the replay. But yes, you've got 3 days to get the course for 297. But again, the best deal really is the done for you. And you got 3 days to get it with the free course, and you've got to get that grant list. We do a grant list specifically. A lot of you are asking like, where are the grants? How can I get a grant? You're going to get a grant list custom to your organization with the done for you. You will literally get a list of grants custom to your organization. All right, so I'm going to go to the top really quickly, come down just to make sure, because I thought I maybe missed a couple. questions. Let me just make sure. Ah, first time applying for a grant yesterday. Sakta, congratulations. You did it. Now keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, let me just make sure. I think we are done here. For any of you who want to give this information to people, I'm on tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Melissa, if you could drop the registration link, give this to anybody that you believe needs to hear this information because this can change how you approach getting grants. All right, I believe that is it. Let me just make sure. Da, 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 da. All right, let's see. We'll have to see a list of. All right, let me just make sure we are good to go. Yes, it's 997 or two payments of 597, or if you want to do the buy now, pay later, those are four interest-free payments, but you have to go through Klarna or Afterpay. All right, let me just make sure. I was in a meeting with the state and they said they absolutely reject emails written with AI. How would they know? How would they know? How would they possibly know whether or not you've used AI to write a grant? It shouldn't sound robotic. First of all, there is so much data that you can get with AI that you would need to spend hours on, hours on, that you should be using AI to get data that talks about, and let's say you have a homeless program in Chicago. You can ask AI, give me stats and data on the homeless population in Chicago and why my program is needed. It's going to give you that information in less than 2 minutes. You would spend days getting that information. So I think that's more of a blanket statement because I'm in this industry and I'm not hearing that, right? I think you have to train AI in your voice. Now, if if there's all these applications, they sound the same, they didn't train AI, they've got mistakes, they didn't check the data. Nobody wants to read that anyway, right? AI should help you tell your story. Tell your story. All right. Let's see. Other questions. All right, I believe we are done. Thank you, Jeline. How to show intended impact. So let's say you have that after school program. Now it's a startup. You haven't started, but you have some idea of what you want the impact to be. So you can say, I hope that I serve 100 students every summer after school with my math tutoring program. My goal is that once they complete the program, I have a desire that they increase their math proficiency scores by 5%. I am hoping by them increasing their math proficiency scores by 5% that they will improve their overall academic performance. By improving their overall academic performance, I hope that 80% of the students that come through my program are able to graduate from high school on time because they've improved their overall academic performance. These are things that you expect to happen because of your programming. You have a homeless program, you can say, my intended impact is to place 100 homeless veterans into transitional housing over the course of a year. Of those 100 veterans that are placed in transitional housing, I hope to be able to say that 50% go on to find permanent housing within 90 days of them being placed in the transitional housing. So you have to ask yourself, what do you want the results of your program to be? If you are a small business and you open up a restaurant, you can say, once I start, I hope to hire 2 staff people. After 6 months, I hope to increase that to 10 staff people. I hope to be able to add items to my menu. I hope in a year to be able to teach healthy cooking habits through cooking classes to the neighborhood. You have to decide what your intended impact is going to be based on your programming. All right, let's see here. I believe that was it. That was that was the question that I knew I had missed a couple, but let me make sure. I think we're done. Okay, I believe this is it. Let me make sure. All right, so make sure you get the grant template in the next 3 days. I'm in Ohio, but yes, I provide one-on-one services wherever you're located. And make sure you put my email address on your safe senders list because that's where you're going to get the replay. Both of the courses. So if you buy the OG course, lifetime access. The AI course that you get free with the done for you template, lifetime access. Lifetime access. Where can you find the good emails? I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh, Mahalo. Mahalo. I was in Mahalo. I was in Mahalo when I went to Hawaii. It's near Maui. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank you for hopping on and staying until the end. I hope I got your question answered. Whatever you do, please move forward. And before you leave here, I want you to do something for you. I don't want you to do it for me. I want you to do it for you. Right now, I want you to place into this chat. I want you to place into the chat. I'm ready to get grant money. I want you to do it for you. Place into the chat. I am ready to get grant money. I am ready to get, that's what I want you to write. I believe in manifestation. I need for you to keep moving forward. All right. Do not leave here until you do this. This is for you. This is not for me. I am ready to get grant money. Keep moving forward. You know that there are people that are literally waiting on you to manifest this nonprofit or this for profit. And the way you do that is get free grant money. People, you don't pay grant money back. I know you're tired of using your own money. I know you're tired of digging in that pocketbook or digging in those pockets or asking family and friends for help or literally doing all 25 jobs yourself. I hear from you. I know you're tired of doing all 25 jobs yourself. You know you can use grant money to hire people. I'm ready to get grant money. Marlo, Portia, yes. Daniel, yes. Marita, Corikia, yes. Kathleen, hello, Kathleen. Kathleen is one of my students. She knows the importance of meeting with those foundations, right? She's gotten grant money. Sharon, Sakta, yes. This is important. Write this for yourself. I'm ready to get grant money. I'm ready to get grant money. You've got to place yourself there. Over $200 billion is available non-federal money. And like I said in the last month, I've seen so many federal grants be released now. It's like the money is finally being loose from the federal government's hands, right? So keep moving forward. I hope to see you, whether you buy the done for you or the course, you still get access into the Facebook group. So you will get a link to come into the Facebook group. I hope to see you there. That's where you get continuous help. Whether you buy the done for you or the OG course, You will be admitted to the private Facebook group where you will get continuous. You can come in there and ask any questions you want about grants. Please be in a community of support where you can be helped. There's too many scammers out here on Facebook providing incorrect information, providing wrong information. Come into a community where you can be helped finally. All right? Finally. Okay? All right. I'm Linda Peavy, creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals, and the AI-powered Grant Accelerator. I want to thank you all for coming in. Whatever you do, whatever you do, do not stop. You are needed. Your foundation is needed. Your nonprofit is needed. Your small business is needed. If nobody has said this to you before, what you are doing is important. Do not stop. Move forward and find a way to get this money to help fund this organization, right? It is important. It is needed. You are needed now more so than ever before. All right. So thank you so much. Look for the replay via email. You will get it. And the links are in the chat, but make sure you look at those emails that you're going to get for the next 3 days because they will also have the links to buy the Done For You or the course. So you will have the links to buy it in the emails and your replay. You don't want to miss that replay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you, everybody, for hopping on. And again, share that link with someone so that they can come in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get this information as well. It'll be the same exact webinar. I will be live again sharing this information. I want as many people as possible to understand the process of how you really go about winning and securing this grant money. So again, thank you so much. Bless you. Have a safe week and weekend. Oh, people, please be safe out here. And God bless you in the work that you are doing. Bye-bye.